Mr. Scales here. Now I'm talking about this is the most fucking like sad but true ever there. Hierarchy exists in this reality though. Spiritually speaking, spiritually speaking, ontologically speaking, in the context of in this reality. I remember it sounds like freaking like we're feminists like boasting egalitarianism or just this postmodern idea itself of basically what beauty is and basically what beauty is and basically kind of like what beauty is and not just beauty itself and how the basically society is structured itself. Everything become ugly. The sad but true itself there is just everything. All the stuff that you see that is Leviticus and ego itself is ugly. That's it. The saddest part itself that everyone basically just basically read basically everyone knows is basically the Grand Inquisitor itself there. Grand Inquisitor itself. And just basically see society as well there. Just that part itself. This is basically this idea itself that 90% of the people itself literally cling, cling on something like cling on something, money, cling on something like a money or just material garbage or their fucking like stupid desires there, their stupid desires there. Whilst basically like a lot of people, like not a lot of people, but most of the people, not most, but basically some of the people, or the one is basically on the minority itself is just basically of God, or basically selected by God as an apostle because they sharpen their will and this intuition, their feelings to connect to the higher itself, connect to the higher and perceive much clearer, farther than the normal eye can see or the naked eye can see there of a normal man. Intellect, or basically the use of intellect is freaking weakness or ego. Use of intellect or logic is freaking weakness, to be honest with you. Nietzsche against this, I don't know, it's Aristotle or something there. Aristotle or something there. It's kind of like he sees him as just basically Socrates, however. Important, the name not important, but basically he sees him as basically so freaking weak, to be honest there. He's just basically in the highest of ranks itself or echelon of ranks itself or just basically in not ranks but in society itself this is he's in up high itself because of intellect and rhetoric and debate. The issue about intellect and rhetoric and debate is just actually what the heck is actually like evil itself actually its existence or just hey or how this fucking like negative entities thought that hey we're just thoughts dude it's just a feeling dude it's just thoughts it's just a feeling my god it's just a feeling my god it's just a thought though not feeling but basically it's just a thought my guy this is basically that fucking idea itself though this freaking idea is about this freaking piece of crap though that can also translate and transliterated in this freaking realm as well and basically itself one that holds the intellect itself there will have the freaking like the most control in a reality physical reality like of logic pharmaceutical like all of them is ironically Luciferian to be honest with Luciferian all of those is literally like Luciferian to be honest the basically like manipulation of it basically just the manipulation itself of the freaking like chemical of basically chemicals of the body itself or just basically the worship of science or just the physical universe itself. Science is a mythology guys. He has his saints, he has his saints, he has his gods, he has his saint, he has his gods. That's basically it. But the one who's basically like wrestled with God is just so freaking little though. So freaking little itself. And I'm pertaining this high idea of hierarchy itself as said right earlier. Hierarchy is really interesting itself. There's in Gnosticism, the hylics, material, pneumatic, that's the pneumatic, and the psychic. And 90% is or Sturgeon's law itself is just material itself. And what had happened to reality itself? It becomes ridiculously materialistic. It's a ridiculously materialistic. In a context of self, spiritually speaking, it's just really ridiculously materialistic. Then everything needs to be rationalized itself. We rationalize or freaking think that logic, logic is such a big joke. Thanks Greeks, not thanks Greeks, but basically thanks basically the freaking like philosophers itself that basically like ponder, not really ponder, but basically like cemented or just basically paved way through that stuff. Way through that stuff. Way through that stuff. To be honest, dude. The one, the one, the one. It's the one. One would see itself as still basically egalitarianistic crap. To be honest, dude. To see that basically, it's basically important modernism as well. Then like sees basically like feminine become really, really like masculine, masculine, masculine reverse, masculine reverse, or the men reverse, and next is just basically the freaking woke garbage though. Just the woke garbage to be honest, or just political garbage to be honest with you. All of them thrive through logic itself, and that's it. And the issue itself is just basically they rely on abstraction, not in the body or the realistic sense. At the body or realistic sense. Sad but true. Sad but true. Even the Buddha said this is no equal and there's no equality in this world. There's no equality in this world. That's basically the truth itself. And basically the fucking like government itself, which is elite presents like this some sort of blind egalitarian itself, which is fucking this idea itself of equality. Equality. They just distort the idea itself of what's right and wrong. If there's no what's right and wrong or morality itself, or not even like morality, but basically ethic itself, or just this intuition itself, or the voice itself that says basically what's freaking right or wrong, then everything would be freaking weak and just crumble. To be honest, there. Intuition knows itself, or basically the intuition, or just basically the feeling itself knows there's something that is wrong in this world. To be honest, dude. It is just a pretend play, or just basically a vanity itself. It's not even a good vanity or a good theater to be honest, or a movie. It's just a one that's basically like freaking B movie. A B movie is just freaking horrible to be honest, dude. Horrible. Just ew. Everything is just ugly to be honest, dude. Just play pretend. In a sense, there, in this realm or just society, just basically evil is much more rewarding. Heck, like 90% of basically men, 90% but basically like most men like love like fucking like the teenagers like love like dark psychology. Like what the fucking heck, dude? It's fucking brain rot to be honest, dude. More like dark psychology though. More like dark psychology though. Fucking soy. That's it. Just the wanting of intellect itself. Just intellect itself. Or just this stuff there. There's just this stuff there. That even like society itself there like really shrink someone. Or in a sense this uses yeah, this in a sense this idea itself there in mental health or something else called there. This idea of you're a narcissist to be honest with you. You're a narcissist to be honest with you. Or you have like fucking stuff. But this idea itself of basically like it's not the issue about narcissism is different, but in a sense there the mind will tend that you are narcissistic itself even though you're freaking not. That's the worst idea itself though. The mind can see basically really big in a big sense instead. In a big sense subconscious what's right. Subconscious it sees as equal there. And the issue itself, the subconscious mind or the mind that absorbs that thing itself there and thinking that loving yourself means like narcissistic already. That's how freaking evil works. In a sense, it just thrives on label that you're freaking like narcissistic or egoist. You're quote unquote narcissistic or not narcissistic, that crap. But you're freaking like selfish or basically egoistic to be honest. And you know that freaking basically ego is bad, dude. This freaking like ego is bad, and also the freaking like professionals or the authority will say that said otherwise, right? That's basically how freaking evil works to be honest, guys. In a sense, how to defeat evil. As basically fucking Alexander the Great did basically on the Gorgon knot, to be honest, Gorgon knot. Just fucking like not even untie that freaking knot, just fucking slice it. That's it. That's simple. To be honest, there's a lot of weakness in reality. To be honest, dude. In basically spirituality itself, as okay, yeah, it's okay to see this basically there's flaw itself there. But in a sense in mental health or basically like safe space something though, it's just basically the ego just tried itself that you need healing. You need healing. You need healing, my guy. The past itself is really ridiculously important, dude. Not only is just the past itself there, but all those freaking like delusions itself there. One must have a terrible father or mother. In a context itself of basic like this idea in Hinduism, Kalima or Shiva. Or not Shiva, but basic as well. This is basic Kal Bairam. I know it's basic purest form there. But this his terrible form. His terrible form a, a terrible aspect just basically destroys itself what delusion or the illusion of the person itself that he has a mental illness or something is just basically a fucking delusion to us where this is basically this mental illness is just created by freaking demons to be honest dude and basically the gods like destroyed that thing because that's freaking not you to be honest not you to be honest dude. So yeah, this is basically this illusion or delusion to be honest, dude. This idea is something reality though. This is basically this reality and this reality itself to be honest, dude. It's really freaking funny though. In a sense they people would just use they just use basically this as Nietzsche said itself there this kind of like ideas so basically people will just use like this wanting of equality for the weak people itself for the weak people to be equal with the strong weak people to be equal with the strong and just to weaken the strong man itself and just basically to have them at their burden bruh this is bruh bruh my guy. Is the most freaking brain rotted thing in the ever freaking person after. Let the weak freaking die, dude. Or not the weak, but basically like weakness dies. Not the weak freaking die, literally not. But let weakness freaking dies to be honest, dude. Or let ugliness freaking dies to be honest, dude. Let ugliness freaking die. Or let weakness die. That's it. So yeah. That's pretty much it. This scales up.